So in this video, we are going to understand conceptually how to add and subtract decimal numbers. And we're going to start by just refreshing. What's a decimal number? Well, it's a number that's composed of a whole number, okay, and a fractional part that's separated by a decimal point. The digits on the left of the decimal are the whole number, and the digits on the right are the fractional parts. Okay, and the fractional parts can be written as fractions with the denominator of 10, 100, 1000, okay, anything that's a power of 10. So if we just look here at the problem below, 2 and 5/10 plus 69 hundredths. Well, let's rewrite that. I could rewrite it as 2 and 5 out of 10 plus 69 hundredths is 69 out of 100. Okay, and so down below what I've done is I've just created a model of the problem. So here we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and you could think of these are our wholes, okay? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths. Those are the parts, okay? And over here we have 6 tenths. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 9. These are hundredth size pieces, hundredths. Okay, and so when we combine those, well, one thing I can do is I can notice that if I look at these holes over here, this is right here, this is 10 tenths. Or sorry, this is 10 tenths basically. So that's one of these. So what I can do is I can actually take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I can regroup these 10 tenths, and I can create one whole. So this is 1, 1, or another whole. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, and then we've got 1/10 left over because we didn't take all of them. You'll see this guy up top here. Okay, 1/10. Okay, and then we have the 900ths size pieces that we sell. So what we have in total is 1, 2, 3, and 19 hundredths. So that's one model that we could use to think about this problem. Okay, and now we have another model we could use, which is the place value chart. Okay, and so let's think for a moment. When we are adding decimals, we need to add like units. So we need to combine ones with ones, tens with tenths, hundreds with hundreds. And the reason we have to do that is because just like with fractions, you can't combine fractions that have different size parts, because if you're counting them and they're different size parts, then you're not actually giving an accurate number of how many you have, okay? So to just kind of get us thinking about a place value chart, remind you from elementary, we're going to use a really easy problem, 12 plus 19. We should always estimate before we start, especially when we're dealing with decimals. So let's just refresh real quick. So let's say I asked you to round, for our estimate, round to the nearest tens, okay? Well, your options are 10 or 20. Okay, and so if we think about where 12 would go, it would go down here, close to 10. So I'm going to say 10 plus 19 would go close up here to the 20. So I'm going to round that, and I'm going to get 30. Okay, so a reasonable estimate is going to be in the tens place value, and it's going to be close to 30. Okay, so now if you'll remember how these work, basically we take both numbers apart and we just put a dot to represent how many we have. So 12 is made up of 1/10, okay, and 2 ones. 19 is made up of 1/10 and 9 ones. And when I combine these, okay, I can actually take and I can count up 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can regroup them to create an extra 10. Because 10 ones is the same as 1/10. Okay. And when I do that, what I'm left with is just 1 here and 3 here. So let's compare our estimate to our real answer. 31 to 30, that seems very reasonable. We're in the tens place value, and 31 is very close to 30. So boom. Okay, now we're going to use the same process with our decimal here. We're going to start by estimating, and let's round to the nearest ones. Okay, so my options are, for this first number, 2 or 3, and I'm going to put 2.5 in here just to make it easier to plot. Oh, this is in the middle. Remember, when we're rounding, we round up if it's half or more. Okay, and so 3 is my first part of my estimate. And then if I take and I think about 69 hundredths, my 2 ones are 0 and 1. I'm going to put 0.5 in the middle just to help me plot my 69 hundredths, and that's going to be closer to 1. So I'm going to round that one up. So my answer should be in the ones place value, and it should be close to 4. Okay, and then we're going to just do the same thing we did above. So 2 is made up of 2 and 5 tenths is made up of 2 ones and 5 tenths. Okay, and then 69 hundredths has 0 ones, so I don't need to put anything there. And then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hundredths. Okay, just as I did above, I want to tally up what I have in each place value. So I have 9 hundredths. Here I see that I actually have, I can trade out one group of 10 tenths for one, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can take this group of 10 tenths and it can become another 1. So I'm left with 1 tenth, and now 3 tenths here. Oh, darn it, I forgot this twice. This should be a decimal here. Between our ones, remember our with the decimal point, everything here is whole numbers. Everything behind the decimal is fractional parts. Okay, so if you think about hundredths, this could be written as 9 hundredths, 1 tenth, and 3. Okay, so I could think of it like that. Okay, now, last part here. Let me see if I think I need to go back in here. Okay, so now we're going to get to the algorithm. Okay, so how do we do this more efficiently? Because we don't want to model it every time. Okay, and in this case, what we do is we line up the place value. The reason we have to do that is because decimals are made up of whole numbers and fractional parts. And fractional parts, we know from adding fractions, we need the same denominator. And so if we line our decimals up, 2 and 5 tenths, and 0 and 69 hundredths, then my first column has my ones lined up, my second has my tenths, and my last has my hundredths. Now you'll notice it looks a little strange to you, but we can put a 0 in here because 2 and, actually let me go back. Because 2 and 50 hundredths is the same as 2 and 5 tenths. We've just taken this and multiplied it by 10 on both top and bottom to get 2 and 50 hundredths. Okay, so now 9 plus 0 is 9. 6 plus 5 is 11. I'm going to carry, that's what happened up top here when we exchanged one group of 10 tenths for one. And now I have 3, and I bring my decimal straight down. Okay, so again, we're going to line it up because we got to have like parts lined up with each other. It's going to look a little strange to start with. Okay, so again, there's no tens here, but I have my ones lined up, or there's only, sorry, 5 is the only tens. Then I have my ones lined up. Then my tenths, my hundredths, and my thousandths. Just going to add some zeros so it looks more what I'm used to. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 9 is 11. I'm going to carry my 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. And 5 comes straight down. Oh, darn it, I did this twice. I forgot to estimate. We had our estimate for above, but 56 and 2/10. Okay, if I rounded that to the nearest hundredth, the nearest tenth, I would round to 56. Or the nearest ones, sorry, I would round to 56. And then I could round this to the nearest ones as well. And 946 thousandths would round to 1. If I round that, I get 57. Or if I add that, I get 57. And if I compare 57 and 146 thousandths versus 57, really what we want to look at is, since our numbers in the tens place value is, we want to compare, oops, I've written this incorrectly, that's a 7. We want to compare 57 and 57, both in the tens place value, and 57 and 57 match. So is this a reasonable estimate? Yes, indeed. Thanks for watching.